Hello and welcome to Vinyasa Flow. My name is Michelle Chua. For this practice, you'll need a blanket if you have a hard floor. If you have carpet, grab a couple of sheets of paper. Thick paper works well, or paper plates. And you may need a strap, 2 yoga blocks. And let's begin in Virasana, hero's pose. Sitting down with your knees pointing forward and your toes pointing back. If it helps to give ease to your body here, you can sit on a block right between your ankles or 2 blocks stacked. So here's a very succinct quote, as we've been talking about in the past few classes about the first limb of yoga practice called satya. And satya translates as truthfulness. Truthfulness in aligning our thoughts, our actions, and our words. Truthfulness in how we speak to ourselves internally and how we express ourselves externally. Much about alignment and being honest with ourselves as well, including in the physical yoga practice. So how will you bring satya into the way that you choose to vary postures or the energy you exert in your movements? Is it an honest energy? Is it going too far, letting the ego lead the way? Or is it being stagnant and not taking risk when you might need to? So here is a quote from Seneca. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Take a moment here to ground. Feel the surface beneath your body. Press down through the left and right sides of your pelvis. Invite a lift up through the center of your body, up through the spine, back of the skull. Rest your hands in any way that helps you to pay more attention to how you feel physically. Mindfully scan your body for any sensations. Sense the quality of the breath just as it is. Let it give you information of what you're working with energetically and mentally, emotionally. Meeting yourself where you are in these different dimensions of being. Let's inhale a little slower through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Breathing in deeply without strain. And exhaling through the mouth again, just as slowly as the in-breath. Clarify your why for showing up to your practice today. Maybe you join your palms at your heart as you set your sankalpa, your deeply rooted intention. And then call to mind someone or something that you care about that you might choose to dedicate this practice to today. Giving our intention and effort a bigger picture. And as we share practice together, let's join our voices to create resonance, holding space together. Chanting 3 ohms, honor the silence after each. Inhale deeply. Start to breathe into your abdomen, filling up the belly as you inhale through the nose, closing the lips and exhaling through the nose. Draw your belly inward towards the spine. Inhaling into the belly and exhaling through the nose. We're going to begin the practice that helps to wake up our digestive fire or Agni, as well as strengthen the core muscles in the abdomen. And that's called breath of fire or Kapalabhati Pranayama. You might like to place your hands in your belly. If you're pregnant, continue with slow, deep breaths instead of breath of fire. Otherwise, we use the exhales to create a percussive, drawing the belly in towards the spine like this. So mouth is closed, just breathing through the nose, percussive exhales at a brisk pace that you can maintain. So we're going to take 2 rounds of 30 exhales, counting your own number of exhales. At the 30th exhale, take a deep inhale and you'll hold the breath in. As you hold the breath in, lift your pelvic floor, draw your navel up towards the heart. And when you can't hold the breath comfortably anymore, then you'll exhale through the mouth and relax for a few seconds. And then we'll start the second round together. So let's begin the first count of 30 exhales of Kapalabhati Pranayama. Ready? Closing the lips, begin. 30th, inhale, hold the breath in at the top, lift your pelvic floor, draw the navel towards the heart. When you can't hold the breath in anymore, exhale through the mouth, relax for a few seconds. And when you're ready, begin the last round of 30 exhales on your own. Holding it in at the 30th inhalation, lift the pelvic floor, draw the navel towards your heart. And when you can't hold it anymore, empty the breath and relax for a few seconds. Now let's begin Ujjayi Pranayama. Closing your lips, slow the breath down evenly in and out through the nose. At the same time, softly narrow or constrict the back of your throat, creating a gentle, smooth, whispering sound as you breathe. Let's listen to it a few rounds here. Long, even breaths with the mouth closed. Use that sound to steady your attention to the body and the present moment. And we'll also use it to pace your movements. So come on down to hands and knees, all fours. Set your wrists directly under your shoulders. Spread your fingers flat as you step your knees a couple inches behind the hips. We'll start in cat-cow, Vinyasa, 5 rounds. Inhale, glide your chest forward and coil it up. Drop the shoulders down. Exhale, contract your belly, tuck your tailbone, and drop your head to round. 4 more cycles. Keep going at your pace of breath. Vinyasa. When you finish the 5th round, exhaling, relax at the bottom of the exhale into a neutral spine. Now cultivate the feeling of a flat back by looking at the ground just about a foot ahead of your thumbs. And lift your belly, so activate the abdomen, and slide the shoulders away from your neck. Now keep your back sort of flat, and differently than cat-cow, let's practice retracting and protracting the shoulder blades across the upper back. So as you breathe in, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And as you breathe out, spread the shoulder blades apart. 4 more rounds of breath. Inhale, retract, or squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the belly firming in. Exhale, protract or spread the shoulder blades apart. All the while, steady your gaze about a foot ahead of your thumbs onto the floor. Lengthening your neck, keep firming the belly in towards your back. Now, the next time you protract the shoulder blades or spread them apart, stay there, keep them protracted, and place your elbows on the ground exactly under your shoulders, interlacing your fingers. Make a snail out of the pinky fingers. Tuck your toes and press the heels back as you bring your feet together to touch in forearm plank pose. 5 breaths. Inhale, lift the navel towards the spine. Exhale, draw your tailbone towards your inner heels. Inhale, keep gazing just in front of the knuckles of your hands. Exhale, 4. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades apart and down the back. Exhale, 3. Inhale, firm your inner heels back. Activate your quadriceps. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lift the sides of your waist, spreading the shoulder blades apart still. And exhale, lower your knees. Bring your hands flat on the floor. Tuck your toes and lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Give yourself 5 breaths here to move your body in your own way that you might need to loosen up. Maybe softly moving the head or pedaling the feet in place. Now, pausing in downward dog, hold still, bend your knees, lift the hips high as you can, and pull your sitting bones back. Now, you might keep the knees bent to find the fullest length of your spine. Let your heels become heavier and heavier towards the ground. It's okay if they don't touch the floor. Relax your neck, gazing on one spot towards your feet. Spread your fingers wide and flat and roll the outer sides of your upper arms towards the floor to keep protracting your shoulder blades, lengthening your neck. Firm in the belly and inhale, glide forward into the top of a push-up, plank pose. Whether you keep your legs straight or set your knees on the ground directly under your hips, take another inhale, lifting the belly and gazing on the ground a foot ahead of your thumbs. As you exhale, glide forward as far as you can, keeping the flat back, long neck, firm belly. Bend your elbows to hug your side ribs and pause halfway down in Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep lifting the belly, draw the shoulder blades apart, lower all the way to the floor. Point your toes and firm the tops of your feet on the earth. Hug your elbows close to your sides. Inhale into Cobra, peel the front of your shoulders back. And exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Keeping your 2 hips leveled. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you and flex the foot. As you exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and round forward into plank pose. Twice more. Inhale, raise the right leg straight back. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose, round forward, shoulders over wrists. Last one. Inhale, raise the right leg back. Keep the 2 hips leveled. Exhale, contract the belly, lift the knee maybe a little higher towards the nose, and step the foot forward beside your right thumb into a high lunge, fingertips on blocks or the ground. In your high lunge, inhale, sink your hips and slide the shoulder blades down your back ribs. Keep your feet right where they are and exhale to a wide pyramid pose, straightening the front leg to your degree by scissoring the right hip back as you fold. 4 more breaths. Inhale, bend the front knee again, right over the heel, high lunge. Exhale, scissor the right hip back, bow in, pyramid pose. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. And exhale, pyramid. Return to your lunge, set your hands on the floor, and step into plank pose. Inhale, plank. Keep lifting the belly, spreading the shoulder blades apart. Exhale, glide forward, lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Come all the way down. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Tuck your toes. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Keep your two hips leveled or squared. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and round into plank. Twice more, slow it down. Inhale, left leg back. Keep your hips leveled. Exhale, contract the belly, round forward to plank. Last one, inhale, left leg back. Lift the navel a little higher if possible. Exhale, knee to nose, step the foot lightly beside your left thumb and stay on the ball of your right foot. Hands on blocks or the floor. Inhale in your high lunge, sinking your hips. Draw the sternum forward. Keep your feet where they are and exhale, straighten your front leg to your degree and fold, pyramid pose. 4 more breaths. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. And exhale, pyramid. This time, bend your front knee and step the right foot forward to fold at the top of your mat. Press your fingertips on blocks or the floor ahead of you and inhale, raise the heart forward, pull in the navel, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise all the way up. Exhale your hands together at your heart. All right, so we're gonna practice our sun salutations with that blanket or paper plates under your feet. You wanna have behind your mat your body's length of space. I don't have that space unless I fold my mat. To see what you need to do to arrange your space. Then, right against the rear edge of the mat, place your blanket or your paper plates to stand on. So your toes are right up at the front edge of the blanket or plates. Feet hips width, parallel mountain pose. And bring your hands together at your heart and connect with your breath. Ujjayi breathing. Maybe close your eyes and connect with your intention. Remember your why for your practice here. And I encourage you to bring that satya, that truthfulness, into how you choose to vary the movement or pose. Here we go. We're gonna take one round and then we'll layer it towards a full sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, roll your shoulders behind the ears and down into a gentle back bend, look up. Exhale, bow over your legs. Press your blocks or the floor. Inhale, lift the chest forward. Place your hands flat on the mat, right up against the rear edge, and slide your feet back into downward facing dog. We're holding downward dog for 3 breaths. So this can be work in itself, right? Wrap the triceps towards the floor like we've been doing. Protract the shoulder blades. Soften your neck. Lift the shoulders back. Pull the hips up and back. Finish this exhale. Look forward. Then slide your toes towards the heels of your palms. Forward fold. Press blocks or the ground. Inhale, stretch your sternum forward. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Root down to your soles. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. Rise into a gentle back bend in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale your hands in Padasana, mountain pose. So you can take that first layer on your own. Otherwise, we'll add a second layer as we move into full sun salutation A. Inhale the arms forward, coil your chest up. Exhale, forward fold. Place your palms right at the rear of the mat. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, slide your toes back into plank pose. Now you could come down to your knees. Glide forward. Bend your elbows to hug your side ribs. Keep your toes tucked on this variation. And inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Pause for 3 breaths. Slow down the breathing. Establish focus through your breath. Listen to the end of the 3rd exhale. Then slide your toes to meet the heels of your palms. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and coil your chest up. Exhale your hands to meet at your heart. So 2 more rounds. Take the variation that's most appropriate for you. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, slide back. If you're taking full Surya Namaskar, a plank pose, glide forward. Hug the elbows in. Maybe this time you flip the toes as you inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Then tuck the toes as you enter downward dog. 3 breaths there. When you finish the 3rd exhale, glide your toes to meet the heels of your palms. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale the arms forward, coil your chest up. Exhale to your heart center. Last one, inhale, arms forward, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Slide into your plank, glide forward and lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. 3 breaths. Prepare. After the 3rd exhale, glide your feet towards your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Coil the chest up. Exhale to your heart center. Take a pause here. Close your eyes. Be still. Tune in. Physical body. Breath. Mental, emotional being. Honesty in our practice. Satya. Let's put the blanket aside, and if you folded your mat, go ahead and unfold it to its full length. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Downward facing dog for a few breaths. Reestablish Ujjayi if you've lost it. Then inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, bend knee to nose. Step the foot beside right thumb again into a high lunge. And this time rise up on an in-breath. Join your hands at your heart, spin the back heel down, and align your right heel to the arch of your left foot. Open the arms, warrior 2. Straighten the right leg, glide your hips towards the rear wall, reach your right hand towards the front wall and place it on the right side of your right shin, maybe using a block. Here's where we'll land for a few breaths. So feel that you're rolling your right outer hip beneath your body. Tack the crease of your right hip back towards your outer left foot. Feel the strength of your legs so much that if you wanted, you could lighten the weight of the right hand where it might be floating. Rotate your chest towards the sky, maybe gazing up past the left thumb. Relax the shoulders down your back. Let's add an extended triangle. From your left shoulder, rotate your left tricep, outer upper arm to face the left wall. Then sweep the left arm overhead. Optional to bend the right knee slightly and raise the right arm parallel to the left. Let's take here another 4 breaths. In your variation of Utthita Trikonasana. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Bend the right knee Keep the right arm towards the back wall. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tune in for a few breaths. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and step the left foot beside your left thumb into a high lunge. Inhale, rise up to crescent pose. Then join your hands at your heart and drop your right heel. Align your left heel to the arch of your right foot and open your arms into warrior two. Straighten your left leg, glide your hips towards the back wall. Reach your left hand towards the front wall before placing it on the left side of your left shin, maybe on a block. Raising the right arm up. Check in with your breath here. Here's where we'll stay a bit longer. So tack the crease of your left hip towards your outer right foot. Feel the strength of your legs, in which you could lighten the weight of your left hand. Spiral your chest towards the sky, maybe looking past your right thumb. Extended triangle pose. Rotate your right outer upper arm to face the right wall, pinky finger side. Sweep the right arm overhead and draw the shoulders down the back. Hug your front ribs in. Now, if you did so on the first side, micro bend your left knee and raise the left arm parallel to the right. 4 more breaths in Utthita Trikonasana. Bend your left knee, rise up, and sweep the left arm towards the back wall. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Downward dog, keep your hips leveled, and inhale, raise your right leg behind you. As you exhale, bend the knee towards your nose, step the foot beside your right thumb, this time for warrior one. Spin your back heel down and rise up to stand. As you bend your front knee right on top of the heel, scissor your right outer hip back. As you straighten your left leg entirely, press your outer left heel into the floor and spin your inner left thigh towards your rear wall. Lift your frontal hip bone slightly. Activate the lower belly. Draw the tailbone down. Breath by breath, lengthening your spine as you relax the shoulders. Extend your arms forward here. Keep rolling the triceps down. Then cross your right elbow over the left and hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms. Eagle arms. Send the shoulder blades down your back. Begin to shift all your weight into your right foot. Turn out your left leg and wrap it over the right as you flex the left foot, or tuck the toes behind the right calf. Eagle pose. Stack your elbows and knees down the midline of your body, maybe sitting lower to help you ground. 4 more breaths. Steady your eyes. Balance your breath. Garudasana. Now start to bend the left knee in front of you. Flex your left foot. Find your balance here. Bring your hands to your hips and level the height of your 2 hips. Draw your navel in and up. Stand taller by pressing the floor away. Keep flexing your left foot. Keep squaring your hips or evenly face them forward. And begin to press your inner left heel towards the back wall, entering warrior 3. If you find tightness in your right hamstring, you could bend the right knee here, but tack the right hip back and turn the left hip down. Maybe you join your hands in prayer at the heart, or place your fingertips on blocks in front of you, or extend the arms back, apart, or overhead. Whatever you choose, let's give it 3 more breaths, steadying your gaze and focus. Virabhadrasana 3. Slowly step back to Warrior 1. Inhale, cactus, bend the elbows apart and coil your chest up. Exhale, plank pose, optional Vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Deep breath in, long whisper through the nose. Keep your hips balanced. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and round forward to plank, stepping the left foot beside your left thumb. Bring the back heel down, facing forward, Warrior 1. Virabhadrasana 1. As you bend your front knee right over the heel, scissor your left outer hip back. As you straighten your right leg, press your outer right heel down. Spiral your inner right thigh towards your back wall. And firming in the belly, lift your frontal hip bones towards your lowest front ribs, dropping the tailbone as you lift the crown. Sense the quality of your breath here for 2 more. Then extend your arms forward and plug your shoulder bones back and down. Wrap the triceps towards the ground and cross the left elbow over the right elbow. Hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms in Garudasana arms. Shift your weight onto your left foot and turn out your right leg, flexing the right foot. Wrap the right leg over the left, bending both knees. You might be able to tuck the right toes behind the left calf. Align your elbows and knees to stack down the center line of your body. Maybe sit a little lower to help you balance. Then tune into your breath again and focus your gaze, your drishti. 4 more breaths in equal pose. Begin to lift the right knee in front of you. Flex the foot standing on one leg. Bring your hands to your hips and level the height of your hips. Draw your navel in and up, standing taller with each breath as you press the ground away. Warrior 3. Press your inner right heel towards the back wall and stretch your spine towards the front wall, turning the right hip to face the ground and tacking the left hip back. Play with a variation of your arms you practiced on the first side. Hands in prayer, hands on blocks, arms behind you, apart, or in front. Last 4 breaths in Virabhadrasana 3. Slowly step back to Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale, bend your elbows apart and lift your heart. Optional Vinyasa will meet in downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Slow it down out through the nose. Even in breath and out breath. Let's come down to our knees here and grab your 2 blocks. Place them on their medium height across the mat, towards the top of your mat. And as you extend your arms forward like we did in Warrior 1, plug the shoulder bones back and down and roll the triceps down. Then place your bent elbows shoulders width apart on the blocks and press your fingertips against each other. Step your knees back a couple inches behind the hips. Then begin to trace your thumbs down the back of your head, back of your neck, as far back as you can, while keeping the elbows shoulders width apart. Let your chest sink as we're stretching the triceps and lats. But firm in the belly, activate the abdomen so you can support and lengthen your lower back. rolling your triceps towards the floor, pressing your shoulders down the back. Another 4 deep breaths. Draw in the navel and inhale, rise up to hands and knees. Then slide your feet in front of you to sit at the middle of your mat, preparing for one round of boat or Navasana. Place your hands behind your thighs and point or flex your feet as you bring your feet and knees together. Kick your feet forward as you pull your thighs, lifting your shins parallel to the floor. Lift your pelvic floor. Remember what we did at the end of our breath of fire? Lift the navel towards the heart. Relax the shoulders down. Steadying your eyes and breath, you might extend the arms forward. You might straighten the legs. 4 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Navasana. Breathe in. Keep drawing the navel in and up. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Remind yourself of your intention for your practice. Exhale, 2. Inhale. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. Exhale, 1. Set your feet down, cross your shins, plant your hands. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Come back to hands and knees, and let's prepare for our layered rounds of dolphin pose. Continuing the practice we started on Monday. Remember to practice, and if it's unfamiliar to you to go upside down and hold dolphin or headstand as long as you don't have neck issues or neck injuries, then it takes practice and consistency, just like when you first started yoga, right? When you first practiced downward facing dog. So let's extend the arms forward, rotate your triceps down, and interlace your fingers first. So cup the pinky fingers, and then place your elbows, shoulders width apart on the floor. Press your outer forearms, wrists, and elbows into the ground to press the ground away so that you're lifting energy up, not sinking completely. So let the shoulders move back away from the neck. Look at the ground just in front of the knuckles of your hands. Engage the belly in like you did in boat pose. Tuck your toes, breathe in. Push off the floor and lift the hips as you exhale. Press your chest towards your shins and maybe walk the feet forward. 5 to 10 breaths your count, and we'll meet in child's pose. If possible, step your feet together to touch. If available, keep your hips leveled and flex one foot as you raise the leg up, keeping your hips squared. And then after a few breaths, maybe switch sides. Make sure the elbows stay shoulders width apart here, as that contributes to shoulder stability. When you're ready, come down to rest and let your arms drape down beside your legs, turning one ear towards the floor to gently stretch your neck. Breathe in, breathe out. And then turn the opposite ear towards the ground. Balance the stretch in your neck. As I mentioned in our previous class, Salamba Shirshasana, or supported headstand, is considered the king of asanas, in which shoulder stand is considered the queen of asanas. So let's layer our dolphin pose, meaning we'll add another stage to it. If you have no neck injuries, we'll place the very crown of your head to the floor. So as you sit up tall here, honoring the natural length and space in your neck, find the very tip top of your head at the center. That's the part you want to be on the floor so that you maintain the natural length and curvature of your neck. Now, extend your arms forward, rotate the triceps down, and interlace your fingers loosely. So at the inner webbing of your palms, we're gonna have the back of the head lightly supported. But we're using the forearms just like dolphin pose, similar strength where you press down with the forearms and lift the shoulders up so that there's very little weight on the head. So let's try. Elbows, shoulders width, crown of the head to the floor, back of the head lightly supported by the inner webbing of your palms. Steady your breath and tuck your toes. Pull in the navel and lift your hips. If possible, walk your feet forward. Now feel your forearms pressing the floor away. Keep pressing your chest towards your shins so that the shoulders do not roll forward of the elbows. Now you might stay here, you might raise a leg like we might have practiced in dolphin, keeping the hips squared and flexing the lifted foot. Keep the raised leg solidly straight. Switch sides if you're ready to. Pressing down with the forearms and lifting up through the shoulders to make the weight on your head very light. A lot of arm strength, upper body strength. Come back down to your knees when you're ready and drape your arms by your legs. Turn one ear to the ground for a few breaths. Balasana, child's pose. Then turn your head to the other side. And now take your choice of your last variation of dolphin or supported headstand. Monday, we used a wall. And if you have wall space, you can use the wall. Otherwise, you can practice it in the middle of the room. Just don't swing the leg up. You want to use controlled muscles of your core, of tilting the pelvis upside down. Because if you swing the leg, your neck becomes the shock absorber. We don't want that. So whether you're using a wall or not, crown of the head to the floor, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Lifting one leg, flex the lifted foot, keep it solid. You could use that lifted leg as you activate the lower belly to start to lift the bottom foot off the floor. Maybe it hovers just a few inches off the ground. Or as you contract the muscles in your abdomen like you would in dolphin, in boat pose, you might lift both legs and press the insteps of your feet towards the sky, stretching the tailbone towards your inner heels. Using the forearms to press the floor away so you're creating space in the neck. How's the breath contributing to your inner state of balance? We'll meet in child's pose once again when you're ready. Pressing your hands alongside your knees, inhale to roll your spine upright. Let's prepare for 2 rounds of camel pose. Come to stand on your knees, tuck your toes behind you, or if you're already feeling very back bendy, point your toes behind you. If you'd like some support to stabilize your lower back, hug a block by the skinny width between your knees. Place your hands on your lower back with your fingertips pointing down, and keep your pelvis stacked above your knees. Lift your chest as you inhale and roll the front of your shoulders back. Hug your elbows close together as you lift the heart. 5 to 10 breaths, your count. You might backstroke one arm and catch hold of the heel and then switch arms, or take hold of both heels, just as long as you're keeping the hips forward, right above the knees, finding most of the back bend right under your shoulder blades, not the lower back. Encouraging deep breaths with this posture. Ustrasana. When you're ready to come up, use your hands for support in the lower back, and then find a seat in hero's pose like we started in. Placing the hands at the heart, allowing a few breaths to rest. And when you're ready, take your last round of camel pose, with or without the block. Tuck the toes or don't. 5 to 10 breaths, Ustrasana. We'll meet in hero's pose once again, sitting for a few breaths. Let's prepare for bridge pose. Come to lie on your back. Step your feet on the ground with your knees bent. Parallel your feet hips distance apart. You might hug a block by the skinny width between your knees for lower back support. Place your arms down by your sides to locate your feet. You want to distance your heels where you could almost touch them with your fingertips, but not quite. Round the backs of your shoulders and tilt your chin back, opening your throat. When you're ready, press your feet down and lift your hips, stretching the fronts of your thighs forward. Walk your upper arms under your back ribs, maybe interlace the fingers. Give yourself 5 to 10 breaths. Keeping your feet still, give your hamstrings the energy as if you're sliding the heels back towards your glutes. Press the insteps of your feet into the floor just as much as the outsteps. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. Carefully lower your spine when you're done. Keep the block if you're using it. Prepare for one last round of bridge or upward facing bow, Urdhva Dhanurasana. That's where you place the hands alongside your ears, keeping the elbows, shoulders distance apart. If you know how to practice Urdhva Dhanurasana, take it on your own for 5 to 10 breaths. Otherwise, one more bridge. When you eventually lower onto your back again, turn to one side and gently rise up to sit. Let's take our spinal twist sitting down, extending your left leg forward. Step your right foot on the ground in front of your right hip or crossed outside of your left knee, in which you might also bend the left knee. Backstroke your right arm and place the right hand on the floor behind your pelvis, raising the left arm. Press down with your two hips, sole of your right foot. Breathe in and lengthen up the spine. Exhale, twist to your right. Lower your left arm to hold the shin, or hook the elbow outside the thigh. Maybe take a wrap. Catch hold of the left knee with your left hand, and you wrap the right arm behind your back so the right hand catches the inner left thigh. 5 more breaths. When you're finished, unwind your spine. Let's prepare for side 2. Extend the right leg forward, step the left foot in front of the hip or outside the knee. Maybe bend the right knee. Try to go for the same variation you did on the first side. Left hand behind the pelvis, right arm up. Ground to lift up as you breathe in. Twist to your left and lower your right arm, or hook the elbow, or take a wrap. 5 breaths. When you're finished, empty the breath and straddle the legs apart. You might like to use your mat sideways, the wide width. Roll your inner thighs back to really root your sitting bones. It might help to sit on a folded blanket if your back begins to round. Flex your feet and point your knees upwards, not towards the front. Slightly engage the lower belly, sit up tall, relax the shoulders back and down, breathe in. And then take 10 breaths to slowly fold. Your capacity. We can honestly The spine long without rounding the back or closing off the throat. This is a variation of Upavishta Konasana. Slowly walk your hands towards your pelvis as you inhale to rise up. Catch hold of your outer thighs and slide your feet in front of you with legs straight. Dandasana, praying for Paschimottanasana. You might move the flesh aside from your sitting bones to really root down and lift up. Relax the shoulders, optional to use a strap around the balls of your feet. Breathe in, lift the heart up. Breathe out, lead with the heart as you start to bow from your hips. 10 breaths. You might clasp your big toes. Inhale, lift your chest. From a pathway, roll the shoulders back and down. Find a little cobra pose here. Pull in the belly, stretch the lower back from the pelvis, and then continue to fold, keeping a slight back bend. On your next inhale, lead with your chest again. Slowly rise all the way up. Let's come down to our backs and take your variation of shoulder stand. Whether you use a block to support your sacrum and then lift the legs straight up, or practice traditional Salamba Sarvangasana. Remember, the queen of asanas, as long as you don't have any issues in the neck. 10 breaths. When you're in full shoulder stand, make sure that you maintain the curve and space in your neck. You're not flattening the back of your neck against the floor. You can do so by tilting the chin back. Really getting the pelvis to stack right above the shoulders as much as possible. Maybe you move into plow pose, halasana. Maybe you take lotus pose with the legs while you're in shoulder stand. When you're ready from plow, very gently lower your back, your pelvis. And let's prepare for fish pose. Last posture before Shavasana. For fish pose, extend your legs forward on the floor, no block underneath the body. Slide your palms face down under your glutes so that your thumbs meet. Tilt your chin back to your capacity. Some of you might bring the crown of your head to the floor. Opening your throat, give yourself 5 exhalations through the mouth. Lion's breath or big sighs. And when you finish, you might draw your bent knees into your chest as you take your time to set your body in corpse pose. Lying down, closing your eyes, and now releasing control of your breath. Shavasana. Staying in Shavasana, check in here. How does your body feel? What's the quality of your breath now? What do you sense in your mental and emotional state? And how have you aligned with your truth in this practice today? Sense the effects of that. Begin to deepen the breath, maybe keeping your eyes closed as you start to move fingers, toes, small parts of the body first, very easily, no rush. Gently turn your head. And then moving your feet, stretch your arms overhead. Slowly turn to your right side, resting your head on your arm. Pause here for a few breaths. As you're ready, press your hands into the ground and slowly rise into a comfortable seat for our 5 minutes in meditation. Land your body in a position in which you can feel grounded, alert, and relaxed. Let's begin. You might start by witnessing the breath, landing your awareness in a particular part of your body where you can sense the breath. As different stimuli might arise, whether they be sounds, physical sensations, people moving around you, or your own thoughts and emotions, whatever stimuli, as they arise, become aware of them, and then come back to the breath. Let it be easy to pay attention to your breath. And then bring your attention back to the here in your body, physical space around you. Though you might keep your eyes closed, let your palms meet at your heart. What's one thing that you can appreciate in this moment? Then recall your intention that you set for your practice. And remember to whom or what you dedicated this practice to. Let in a deep breath. Exhale through the mouth. And let's close with one chant of Om. Inhale deeply. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.